Last week, we told you about a deal to build a $94 million, 25-story luxury apartment tower along the riverfront. Take a look. Here's what Skyhouse Cincinnati could look like. The project was off, then it was back on after a marathon late-night negotiating session that led to a precedent-setting deal. In exchange for a 30-year property tax abatement, the developer of Skyhouse will give the city a share of the proceeds if it sells the building within 10 years. That was a sticking point that nearly derailed the deal. With more background information on how the deal happened, Business Courier reporter Chris Wederick joins us this morning in the studio. He's with Business Courier editor Rob Dalmore.
Thank you very much. Chris, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
This is a really unusual deal.
Yeah.
And so let's talk a little bit about what makes it unusual. Why haven't we seen this in Cincinnati before?
Right. So one thing that's unusual about this is that the city has basically asked for a share of the profits if the building is sold in the next 10 years, the new Skyhouse apartment tower. And that's unusual because it doesn't usually ask for a clawback or kind of a profit sharing, although the city doesn't like the word profit sharing. That's kind of what it is.
Right.
They don't normally ask for that unless they have cash in the deal, unless they built a garage to go with it. Basically, all they've done here is incented the deal by offering a property tax abatement. And so it's kind of unusual for them to ask for a share if the building is sold, but that's what they did. And that was kind of a hitching, or that was kind of a hitch in the deal up until the very last minute, which, you know, was a deal being negotiated at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So.
I mean, this deal essentially was dead for X months.
For months, yeah.
And this brought it back to life, which leads me to the question, are we going to see more of this kind of clawback from the city in the future? I mean, you could argue that they got something good here that they usually don't get.
Right. I think the city manager plans to ask for it in the future. I think the city council was very bullish about this. They were excited to see this because there's kind of some controversy over, you know, these types of incentives that the city has offered.
Right.
You know, it's like, well, you're giving money away to rich developers, right? But it's very hard to do real estate development in downtown because of the density and the prices. Cincinnati doesn't have prices like New York or San Francisco or Chicago. So when you build a big giant apartment tower, it's very difficult to get the finances in your capital stack together. So that's why the city has to come in and incent these deals a lot of the time.
Yeah. So let's talk about Cincinnati's real estate market then. Good segue. How healthy is the downtown commercial real estate market right now, or residential real estate?
It's pretty healthy. I mean, this is another sign of out-of-town developers looking at Cincinnati and saying, hey, you know, there's a lot of potential in this market and we want to build here. I know that the financing for these types of projects has tightened up nationally. People locally don't think that that's a big deal or as big of a deal here because there's still room to grow. So that's a little bit of a concern, but I think that we're going to continue to see out-of-town developers take a look, and in-town developers, of course, as well, take a look at projects in the urban core.
Yeah. It's, for those of you who haven't been paying as much attention, the occupancy rate in our buildings is going up downtown, and so is the residential population of the core is also going up, which feeds into this out-of-town money that's coming in. It'll be interesting to keep our eyes on this. When do they think they're going to start on this?
They're hoping to start in December. It'll be finished sometime in 2019. It's a huge project, so it's going to take a little bit to build.
Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.